What's up, everybody? Welcome to my humble abode. I welcome you in. As you can see, we have no McInnes here this week as he is off gallivanting in Whistler for his eldest's birthday tomorrow. So welcome to this freezing cold Wednesday afternoon. In honor of Jay, we are wearing some over-the-top slip-ons, flip-flops, whatever they're called. Forgotten the name. But today we're going to be discussing the three main problems, or the three main things to avoid when you're in a seller's market, because of course everyone thinks when it's a seller's market everything's just going crazy, and as soon as something gets listed it gets sold, and there's 100 different offers that are all subject free. It's actually not quite the case. So there's a few things to miss out for. So there's two things for sellers, one thing for buyers in particular. So the first thing for sellers: do not overprice your property in the hope that your home is going to reach that market value at some point during the seller's market. Reason being for this is when it's a buyer's market, if there's quite a few days on market underneath your property, then you can get away with it. It's a buyer's market, it's a bit slower, everyone's not expecting it to sell. But whether you look at the newspapers, the media, realtors right now, everything is going crazy off the charts. So you're actually going to put a bit of a stigma to your property if somebody looks at it and they're saying, oh, well, it's a little bit overpriced, and it's also been on the market for 90 days, especially when everything else around you is selling so fast. And you could have a fantastic property, you could have a perfectly fine home, but you just kind of strategy has not really been there. This kind of leads on into our second point. It's not always going to be a seller's market in the same way that it's been a buyer's market for quite a while. And then previously before that in 2016, 2017, it was a seller's market. Everything is cyclical. So if you're thinking, oh great, prices are going up 1%, 2% each month, we're going to wait until the fall of 2022 to list, then that should mean our property price will have gone up percent a month, 18%. Doesn't quite work that way. It's always a seller's market until it's not. And it's always a buyer's market until it's not, and things start changing. The best thing to do about this, if you have a figure in mind that works for you in terms of what you need life-wise, if you want to move to a new place, if you want to downsize, make sure those figures work. And if the market supports those figures, then go for it. Don't hold off. I appreciate everyone wants to try and get more money, but you can get greedy, and in doing so, you can actually kick yourself or shoot yourself in the foot because you should have just taken advantage of the opportunity. We cannot tell you the amount of people that we speak to after a seller's market who constantly say, I wish I just manned up and sold. I wish I just did it. I wish I did it. I was waiting for it to go up. Doesn't work like that, unfortunately. And then the final one is for buyers as well. A lot of buyers are very hesitant to jump into multiple offer scenarios. They're afraid to get into a seller's market territory because they think they're going to overpay for something. And we kind of touched on this when we did our recent market update as well. Property prices is going up. So you have to understand, when you're a buyer and you're looking at property, let's say you find a property you like and it's on the market for 1.2, it's going to go into multiple offers. Maybe you say have a budget of 1.25 million. So you don't want to go in, you don't want to compete with multiple offers. Well, when that property sells, if it sells for 1.25 million, that's now the new market value. So anything similar to that is going to come on the property, is going to come on the market for 1.25 million. And it's probably going to sell for higher than that. And everything else that sells onwards keeps pushing that price up. So when you are hesitant and not wanting to get into multiple offers, you've actually priced yourself out of the market because you haven't put pen to paper. Remember, you can put pen to paper and there's no harm in that at all. If you lose, there's no cost involved at all unless you want to do like an inspection up front, something like that. Always put in what you're comfortable with, even if it's multiple offers, because you run the risk of pricing yourself out of the market. Now, unlike Jay, I'm going to keep it short and snappy. Thank you for joining us this week. Next week, he will be back. Not that it makes a difference because we always all tune in to me anyway. Thank you for joining us, guys, and we'll see you next week.